start by complimenting Michigan and Coach Harbaugh's team. I thought I think they're an excellent football team. They present a lot of challenges. In terms of our team, I think right now we've got a group in our locker room that's frustrated as a program. We've gone through a 3-game stretch now, playing 3 of the top teams in the country, 3 of the top 5 defenses in the country, and for us as a program, I think it's a great vision of where we want to go. And I think this Michigan football team this year is a great example of how quick you can get there. So we've been tested by the best over the last 3 weeks. Everybody in that locker room wants to do better, and they're competing to do better. So I don't feel that there's discouragement in that locker room. That's probably the thing that has kept us going right now is we've got young players in that locker room who are really competing to the end. But right now probably need another birthday. Questions?
Coach, how about the reemergence brand?
Janarian is a weapon on special teams every week. Teams do different things to try to keep the ball away from him, but every time he's got the ball in his hands, he's a threat to score.
I said, every week you're trying to direction, guy won next week. There hasn't been any evidence from the outside. What do you say? There's an explanation for why there hasn't been any improvement in the last 3 years?
Well, I think you say that, and I understand why people who watch the game on TV, they're not with the team every day. I understand why they say that, but that's not the reality of it. We've got that play that Bless made in the end zone today, where the ball got in and he got it out at the end. That's a tremendous play. The interception he made last week was an excellent play. So there's evidence of it. Is there enough of it for us right now? When you play the top teams in the country, there's not. There's not. We got to continue to work to make sure that we get more. But when you say that there's no evidence of it, that's not the way I see it.
I think it's from the fundamental standpoint of a lot of missed tackles, a lot of players running through the secondary open. How do you clean that stuff up?
We continue to work on it. At one point in the game today, I wrote it down, 28 was down, 10 was down, 14 was down, 31 was down, 3 was down. We've got a lot of young guys back there that are going to be better players as we go forward, as long as they continue to work, and they are. And that to me, is what's so exciting. And again, we've got a lot of football left to play this year.
What was your view of the trick play at the end of the first half, Michigan?
I didn't think it was legal, and I thought the officials did a good job officiating the play, and to some degree, maybe some irony with what happened with his brother in the playoffs last year with New England and Baltimore, maybe.
Any concern about him going for 2 up 25 points?
No, I mean, that's a question for him. I don't make those decisions for their team, they do, so you'd have to ask him what his thought process was.
But were you offended by it?
No, I don't get offended by other teams' play calls. I'm focused on our team.
Was it a tough decision to go to Dante Owens this late in the season?
No, not at all. Not at all.
What made you want to turn it?
Well, he's the next man up. Right now, we've got, Leonte, who's kind of week to week in terms of his availability. Carl Magadosi was limited this week, and Dante's a guy that we feel's got the ability to help us, so we're going to use him.
You brought in Aiden in the fourth quarter for the 3rd straight game, and another block also. But was it just a matter of Chris? Was it more the same? Just him not getting help? Was it just more the same?
Offensive football is an 11-man game. There's no question. But I think, I left Chris in a little bit longer tonight because I think there was a lot to be gained by playing against this defense. You can't simulate what they do on defense in practice. So when you play it in a game, you have the chance to gain the experience of playing against it. That's going to make both those quarterbacks better as we go forward.
Kind of from building off that question, the offensive line, it seemed like Laviano was under a lot of pressure the whole game, same as the last game. From an offensive line standpoint, there are some veterans on that offensive line. What do you see there? How does that clean up?
We got to look at it on film and see exactly what some of the issues were. The protection unit today is the offensive lineman, the tight end, the running back. I don't think we did a very good job protecting the quarterback today.
I think this is kind of the same question I asked about the defense, but both Chris, what do you see as improvement in the last 3 games?
He's been tested by 3 of the best defenses in the country. And his ability to operate the offense and get us into the right plays, he's doing a good job with that. Can he throw the ball better than he has the last couple of years? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that easy to do when the pocket's not clean? No, it's not. I don't know if that will be any different no matter who the quarterback is. But Chris is our starting quarterback going forward. And I think the experience of the last 3 weeks is going to serve him very well.
You mentioned how big a step Michigan's been able to take in 1 year. Any concern for you that your program is taking a step in the other direction? A team we played to a victory last year.
Yeah, it's not the curve you want, year to year. But I think every year is unique because of the personnel. When we look at our football team and I see, I said this last year, Steve, I thought last year we had the right team to go into the Big Ten with. We had a senior quarterback who had played a lot of football. We had a lot of returning starters on the offensive line. I thought that would really help us, and I think it did as we went through the year. This year's team is a different team. We've got a first-year starting quarterback. We've got some new people up front on the offensive line, although in our program, but new. At times today, I thought we did some good stuff in the run game against a defense that's, I believe, number 2 in the country in rushing defense. So there are some things that we did well. We didn't do a good enough job of protecting. We're very young in the secondary, a little different than last year. So I think every year is different. I'm not ready to look forward to next year yet because we got a lot of football left to play this year.
Beyonce, was it medically?
Medically not cleared to play. I'm sorry? Paul, I thought was going to be available. We brought him out for warm-ups. He didn't look as good as I wanted, so we didn't use him. He would have been available in an emergency room. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, Kyle. Steve Walker goes over double-digit tackles, and he's over 100 tackles in the 3rd straight season. Can you talk about his progression as a player, moving around in positions as a linebacker?
It's the exact progression we thought we would get when we recruited. Somebody who we really thought was ideal for that position that he plays now, although he played Mike 1 year. But even in the Mike position, he made a lot of tackles. Steve runs to the ball very well. He's got excellent instincts. So they never surprised me. He's in a position where we funnel a lot of things to him, and he needs to make those tackles, and he does.
You talk about the decision around that kick and how big that was not to that.
Something we had worked out during the week. We were going to try and be aggressive in the game and special teams and see if we could steal a possession or two within the game, and didn't quite execute it the way we needed to.
Coach, how about Pepper's impact on this game? Touchdown run from 18 yards, 6 tackles on defense.
They use him in a couple different ways. They got him the ball a couple times, and then there was other times they had him on the field a little bit as a decoy, because you certainly have to be aware of where he is when he's out there. Jabril's a very talented player, so when he gets the ball in his hands, he's much like number 1, he's going to be a threat to school.
How much better is Michigan than last year, and what are the biggest improvements you've seen from them?
Can you just repeat that first part?
Yeah. How much better is Michigan than the team you played last year, and what are the biggest improvements you've seen from them?
Similar to last year, they're very good on defense. I think that got lost a little bit last year in the record is how good they were on defense last year. Offensively, I think they have probably a little bit more of an identity in terms of their pro-style offense. I thought last year they had some pro-style elements, they had some gun-run elements, but they're an excellent football team. Thank you.